Yeah, I think part of the reason for that is he's always been a critic of the left from within the left, and that's right from the very beginnings of his academic publishing. So he's always been someone who has been a fairly uncomfortable figure for those who wanted consensus. He's always been someone who's wanted to point out contradictions, problems, but not, I would say, from a purely negative or critical or carping position. He always had very strong and authentic left-wing commitments, and it was mostly about wanting to make sure the left movement didn't make the same sort of mistakes he kept seeing them make. And I think that was a large part of his frustration across his lifetime, was watching the same things happening over and over and over again. The same kinds of self-defeating behavior from left-wing groups, the same emphasis on rhetoric and grand gestures over material projects. And I think that was a large part of it. But I think there's also a great deal of discord within that left movement, so many different ways in which it fragmented in the late 60s, over nascent identity politics, race, gender, sexuality. All of these things came to a head in that period, and I think there was a great deal of falling out. And Lasch found himself wanting to say certain things to hold that group together, but at the same time, I think it was taken in perhaps the wrong way. So there were some fairly fractious episodes that Lasch found himself in, particularly with feminists in the 1970s. There's a really interesting interview that another podcast, Van Vlog, has done, where they talk in quite a lot of detail around a particular episode in the mid-70s that Lasch was involved in there. So I think that's part of why Lasch is a figure who has attracted a fair bit of opprobrium, because he was critical, but he's also someone who has been open for appropriation, I think, by the right as well, because he makes so many good critiques of the left. And I think the right, in its opportunistic way, has really wanted to focus on those things and kind of snip at them as ways of attacking the left. So again, he's someone who has been used in that way, and perhaps in some ways sullied in certain people's eyes as a result of that.